What's going on, guys? My name's Connor, and today I have a review for you guys on the Rolex known as the 41mm Rhodium Datejust. This is a 2018 model, reference number 126300. I'm going to be unboxing it for you guys, going over all the specifications, and also giving you guys a full-on review of it. Alright, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so just diving straight into it, take a quick look at the box. The Rolex crown right here. Creamish color box, and for those of you guys who don't know, there are 4 size boxes. There's a small, medium, large, and extra large, and this is the smaller box. And if you really want a nickel and dime boxes, the smaller ones go for less than the larger ones, but some people care, some people don't. But some of the ones with a bigger bezel, some of the watches with the bigger bezel, such as like a Submariner or a GMT, they're gonna have the bigger boxes most of the time. But just sliding off the top part right here, this is where most of the paperwork is going to be. This watch was not bought straight from Rolex, or it was at one point, but then it got bought by Bob's Watches, and then they sold it. So here's the Bob's Watches little folder right here. I don't really know what's supposed to be in here. Maybe the receipt. Setting that to the side, here's just a little separator, and also thank you for your purchase from Bob's Watches. You guys can pause and read that if you want. And then also the Explorer, I don't know, there's just like a little, Bob's Watches gives a lot of information about different Rolexes and the hand positions, and just, you guys can take a look if you guys want to, but this is all from Bob's Watches. This paperwork right here, I do have the Rolex paperwork as well, but you guys can see that this was bought from Bob's Watches for $7,995. The retail cost of this watch was, I believe, $7,900, and market on it right now is around $8,000. So if you guys really care to see the receipt, hopefully I can block out the address as much as possible, but yeah, let me block that out. You guys can see the total cost after 7% tax, California, is $8,554. Almost $600 in taxes. And then just getting past that, we can dive right into the inner box. You guys can see the greenish Rolex, the green Rolex colorway right here. You guys can see the golden crown right here. Box is in pretty good shape. It's just going to slide out like this. Some Rolex boxes, usually the bigger ones, will have the little fold down right here so you can pull the box out horizontally. But right here you guys can see the inner box, Rolex green. Good shape, well taken care of. When I received it in the mail, it was packaged very well, so I know that the person that bought it from Bob's Watches took very good care of not only the watch but the boxes. And then opening it up, I'll show you guys the little manual as well as the card. So here is the stuff from Rolex. This is going to be from Bob's Watches. This is Bob's Watches card. So Rolex has their own card, and so does Bob's Watches. It's just I'm going to try to block out the serial number as much as possible, because a lot of people use the real serial numbers on fake watches and sell them to people that are a little bit less educated than a watch buyer like myself. And then you guys can see Oyster Perpetual Rolex Perpetual Date. This is a little manual that they give out for the Datejust, the bigger ones and the smaller ones. You guys can go ahead and pause on whatever you guys want to if you guys care to see the little manual right here. And I'll set that to the side. And then here is the warranty. So Rolex warranties are 5 years now. Before they were 1 year, but they got extended. You guys can pause and see like all the details on your warranty if you guys care to do so. Set that to the side. And then here is the little folder that they give you. For some reason, I see people sell these online and use them as little card holders. I feel like that kind of looks ridiculous. Like card holders for like credit cards and cash. Like that just looks like you don't know anything about Rolexes, or if you've never had one. But here's the Rolex card right here, 126300. Again, I'm blocking out the serial number. And then you guys can see dark rhodium. That's another little detail. They'll have the serial number, model, then the little details about it. And then you guys can see it was bought on 7/26 in 2018. This is the 2018 model, as I mentioned at the beginning. The person that bought it, you guys already saw, is Richard Moon. It's an interesting name. And then you guys can see the box again, opening it right up. I have the watch in here, but before I pull it out, or before I get into all the details of that, underneath is where he stored the tags as well as the extra link. So one link has been removed from this watch. For those of you guys who are newer to Rolexes, always keep all the links because they're worth somewhere around $150 to $200-ish. So I would not have paid the price I did for the watch if it did not include this extra link right here. Don't lose them, don't toss them. If you're gonna sell them, make sure you get at least $150 per link. I'll set this right here. Sorry about my chair. And then here's the serial tag. This is a serial tag from Rolex. And then here is the serial tag from Bob's Watches. Bob's Watches kind of gives you the whole experience of tags that would come with the Rolex with their own brand. Because obviously they buy used watches and they flip vintage watches. So a lot of them don't have like a serial tag, a card, or anything else with them. So they give their own, which is pretty smart and pretty creative, and kind of gives, and it's kind of a compliment to the watch buyer. And then you guys can see the Geneva tag. That's what they call this one. Just showing that it's an authentic Rolex watch purchased by an authorized dealer of Rolex. And boom, I'll set all this to the side and show you guys what you have been waiting for. Here is the Rolex Datejust 41 Rhodium. You can see, I really like this color. I feel like it's cool because it matches the bracelet. It has a bigger face than a lot of Rolexes, the 41mm. It has the date as well as the time, so you pretty much have everything you need. And then I also like the reflectiveness of the bracelet compared to the Jubilee bracelet. This is a lot more reflective, but one of the cons of that, of having this middle link being as flat as it is it does get scratched up pretty easily. As you can see, there are a few nicks here and there, nothing deep. Could obviously be polished out. But for people that collect Rolexes and for people that really want to keep value in them, they know that they probably shouldn't polish it unless it's really that bad. But at this point, it's not that bad. And yeah, just get a quick look at it. As I said, retail is around $7,900 and market's around $8,000 right now. It's made completely of the oyster steel. That's what Rolex likes to call it. And this is the oyster bracelet. So some of you guys watching this video, you might be like, hey, my Rolex that I got a few months ago is a different bracelet than this one. That's because the 2020 models have a Jubilee bracelet where it's not just 3 parts right here. It's a few, and it's a little bit more flexible, and it's a little bit more scratch resistant, which some people prefer. But for those of you guys out there that really take care of your watches and know how to keep it from getting nicked up, I would recommend this bracelet because it's a lot more standout, and I think it looks a lot better. And then, as you guys probably know, any watch with the face that has the date right here, it's known as a Cyclops Lens. Which means that it kind of has the magnification on the face of the sapphire crystal. That's the crystal that the face is made out of. Very, very scratch resistant, very, very hard material to break or break through. You can hit this against a wall, against metal, and it most likely won't get nicked up or scratched until you hit it really, really hard. And once you get to that point where it gets hit really, really hard, there's going to be a huge crack. It's really hard to get smaller cracks on sapphire crystal. And then you guys can see the bezel, nothing special. It's not like a Submariner or a GMT or any of those where there's like numbers. It's just considered a smooth bezel. That's what they call it, meaning that it's smooth all around, but you're setting yourself up to get a little bit scratched there. It's easier to get scratches there on the smooth bezel than it is to get it on the crystal face. So be careful when you're walking around, be careful. One of the situations that I find myself getting the most scratches on my watches are when I'm sitting at a desk and I set my hand on the desk and I usually nick up like the side towards the side of my wrist as well as the face if I turn my hand over. So watch out there and make sure you take care of it. But getting into the real details, it's a double lock system that keeps it waterproof. So if you know Rolexes, you know that if water ruins a Rolex, it's because it got in through the crown. So whenever you're going into water or whenever you want to take advantage of the waterproofness of this watch, make sure that you screw this crown down as much as possible, as that is exactly where the water is going to get into. It's not really going to get into the back or the front or these right here, it's very closed up and it's meant to be waterproof. And to get into specifics, it's meant to be waterproof up to 100 meters or 330 feet. So keep that in mind. This is not a watch that I would snorkel in. This is not a watch that I would go into the ocean with and deep dive. This is a watch that if I was in my pool, maybe I would wear. But if I wanted a watch that was going to really be safe underwater, I would go with something like a Submariner. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know that, as that is the watch we're known for being waterproof. And then something else that you guys probably wonder is what is the power reserve of this watch? There's not really an exact power reserve that Rolex likes to use, as I don't really know the different factors that might change it, but it's supposed to be around 70 hours, meaning that 70 hours of you not using this watch, not walking around, not giving it any movement or any ability to wind itself up, is when it's going to stay at the same time. So if you guys are wondering how do I keep it going, just walk around. Just moving it around like this, once it's considered asleep, is just going to activate it and it'll start keeping track of the time again. Obviously, you can just pull this out once and it's going to be able to wind it up. I would suggest between 15 and 20 winds. And then if you pull it out again, it's going to adjust the date. If you pull it out again, it's going to adjust the time, okay? So hopefully I covered whatever you guys came to this video to see, because a lot of you guys, I'm sure, are watching this video not just to see what this Rolex is like, but to also decide if you want to finalize your purchase. If you guys are interested in buying watches, make sure to message me on Instagram at connor.langley, or clothes or any kind of jewelry. I'm happy to help you guys out. I've helped a lot of you guys, and those of you guys who I have helped out, you guys have reaped the rewards of taking advantage of me, because I really do get the best prices on stuff like this, as well as clothes, as well as other jewelry. So at least come to me to get quoted if you guys are considering buying. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, make sure to leave it down in the comments or message me on Instagram. I'd be happy to respond to you guys directly. I respond to all my comments pretty fast. Nonetheless, I don't have too many comments on my videos just yet, but hopefully that will change soon. But yeah, if you guys got anything out of this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.